So we got to our second Airbnb location in Havana. It's more in the center of this, I guess, the downtown area, you'd say. But wow, much more populated, that's for sure. We're getting down back there. No, gracias. Different people, different taxis everywhere. Spin around and get some of this architecture here. These lazy bastards need to get a job.
No?
Vivo.
Oh,
Está más vivo que yo. Duerme mucho. Es una muñequita.
He's not dead, everybody. He's
He's not
okay.
dead.
Le estoy curando su ojito. Este ojito tiene enfermito.
Oh, he's got an infection in his eye.
Aw,
Ya se lo
poor
curé.
thing.
He's antibiotics.
Antibiótico, sí.
See.
Buen antibiótico. Colillo.
So apparently today is the National Cigar Festival and also the National, what do you say, Salsa Festival or something? Which we're trying to find, but who knows? We're just walking along. It's crazy people. This is a nice little square we're at here. Rachel and I just ate some lunch and we decided we were gonna have a seat and relax for a minute. Some different scenery as we go along. So you should expect rain in October.
Definitely expect rain.
Rachel and I have been to a few places, so we're prepared. We got some actually really good ponchos on Amazon. So I've come to learn. We've been lucky enough to have brought these ponchos, and they really have made the experience so much different. When it rains, the streets clear, and we just have free reign. Like, there's nobody in the streets. I mean, obviously you can see people, but in comparison, nobody is out right now.
It's like shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, but right now it's so nice. So invest in a poncho. It'll be worth it, trust me. Okay, so yesterday the people who are watching over the house, because the actual host hasn't came to meet us yet, but they asked if we wanted breakfast, and we said, yeah, sure, and this is it. We got bananas, pineapples, papaya, guava, some crepes with vegetables, some paninis, bread, little sausages, some crepes. I'm assuming you put the fruit in, some avocado, cucumber, coffee, leche, azúcar, syrup, and Ugo. I don't know what kind of juice this is, but
I think it's guava juice.
But quite a spread. So we're walking along the Malecón across from the forts here in the port of Havana, and the tankers land over there from Venezuela with oil. I believe those are probably refineries over there. But there is so much oil floating on the water here. This boat is covered in oil. And the crazy part is, people are fishing right here. So we will not be eating any fish. Alright, so we're in the parks where they've got the, basically the little Wi-Fi centers, and everyone gathers. You can buy little cards. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before. I think maybe when we were on the other side of the island, but we paid $1.50 for a card that's good for like an hour. But you have to find a Wi-Fi hotspot, and then you just kind of post up, and it's very, very slow. But you know, if you want to, it's good for us because we've been using it to like contact our Airbnb host and plan taxi ride, you know, from here to the airport, and make sure our emails from the airlines and all of our plans are good, and make sure all of our time's good. But I'm gonna just spin around, not that you can see anything because it's pretty dark here, but there's just all kinds of people over here in this neighborhood. There's actually quite the police presence, which is comforting. I think what they're doing is cracking down on people who are selling those little cards unofficially, because we paid like $1.50, so these guys are out here trying to sell them to tourists for, you know, $5 or something. But yeah, there's plenty of little hot spots. You just gotta find them. You'll know where they are because everyone will just be posted up with their phones out. A lot of young people, like they're across the street from us, there's just people lined up on the sidewalk. There's always just people standing, loitering in front of hotels using their Wi-Fi. And it's basically one network, and you have a card, and the card has a username, which is a numeric, and a password, which is numeric. You enter that, and they're good for an hour. So it's pretty interesting. Just got out here into this beautiful square. It's nighttime. It's a lot calmer. All the cruise ships have left, so all the huge tour groups have left, and the hustle and bustle is, slowed down to natives basically just out for an evening stroll. Very beautiful architecture here, though. Very, very old buildings. Quite enjoyable.
This guy behind me is Jose Marti, and he was integral against the Spanish Cuban independence from Spain. So when he was young, he wrote a newspaper called La Patria Libre, which means Free Fatherland. And because of that and his other anti-imperialist ideas, he was exiled. During his exile, he became a lawyer, and he never stopped fighting for Cuban independence. And he later, about 25 years later, rounded up Antonio Maceo and Maximo Gomez, who were fighters in the first War of Independence against Spain that was pretty unsuccessful. So we gathered them up, brought them back to Cuba to actually fight Spain again. He did so. Unfortunately, he died about 2 weeks later. He rode into battle straight to the Spanish front lines in his trademark all-black suit on top of a white horse. He was spotted very easily and shot, which is rather tragic because he would have been Cuba's first elected president had he survived. But without this guy, we would not have a free, quote-unquote, Cuba today. In America, we think of Che as the ultimate people's champion, Che Guevara, and you do see his image everywhere, but not like you see this guy's. This guy is the real hero of the people, and you see his bust is everywhere. And actually, around this square, there are 28 palm trees. You might not be able to count them, but I did count them. There are indeed 28, and those are to signify Marti's birthday, January 28th. All right, we're here in Havana's harbor, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the USS Maine. So in the Second War of Independence, once Mercer died after the concentration camps, America decided, no, we need to go set foot in Cuba and help out our Cuban friends. Unfortunately, they actually never were able to port. Their ship exploded in harbor. America blamed it on the Spanish. The Spanish said, oh no, we had nothing to do with it, it was an accident, but Cubans actually say it was the Americans that did it themselves so that they could have an excuse to come in and kind of take over.
So Rachel just went into this store behind us to grab some supplies for us. They let you in one at a time, and they actually hold on to your bags in like their own little bag that locks. So if you're gonna be looking for any type of supplies, be prepared to have to either leave your bag somewhere or carry it around in a bag that they gave you that they actually put your bag in and lock. Walking along the Malecon here, which is the boardwalk, basically, and I just wanted to show everybody, like, here's this newer building next to these buildings that are just decrepit and falling apart. These guys are in this basket, basically jackhammering this building apart. I'm not sure at what point this thing collapsed, but pretty gnarly. Over here by the fort again, walking along. It's actually really nice out right now. It was just raining a little bit, and so the air is really cool. These guys are all over here fishing. Pretty nice. All the oil that's been floating on the water has been broken up from all the choppy waves today, so it doesn't smell so bad like petrol over here. So I was talking about the oil tankers from Venezuela. Here's one coming out of the port here. So public transit is an option, but then you're gonna have to be crowded in here, packed like sardines, and you know, good luck with that.
This grandiose statue behind me is Maximo Gomez, and he was an independence fighter. He fought with Cespedes in the First War, and then Martí brought him out of exile and went to fight in the Second War. Shortly after Martí died, him and his homeboy Antonio Maceo developed what they called a scorched earth policy, and they basically burned half of Cuba down to the ground. I guess they thought that that was the best way to hurt Spain. So to retaliate, Spain sent one of their generals, General Weyler, and he set up concentration camps. He moved all of the rural farmers because they were helping all of the insurgents, and due to poor conditions, lack of sanitation, lack of food, 400,000 Cubans died in these concentration camps. That does not include people that actually fought in the war, that were just people that were relocated in these camps. So this place here is the Castillo de la Real Fuerza. It's the oldest fort in the Americas, and it's pretty cool. Look at that moat. It's a Nautical Museum today that you can tour.
It's pretty nice with the sun going down here.
And if you turn your camera around, you can see this church here with this pretty busted tree, but this tree is called a ceiba tree, I think is how you pronounce it, and that's actually the spot where the very first mass was ever held in Cuba back in the 1500s. It's not the original tree. The original tree is dead, but that is where it now stands, and that's why they put the church there.
And this over here is Plaza de Armas, correct?
Yes. It's where the general of the fort would have his men practice. So this is Manuel Cespedes, and he was a sugar plantation owner, and he, in the 1860s, he decided to free all of his slaves, hoping to lead by example in his revolt against the Spanish imperialism. It unfortunately did not work. He died, his cronies were exiled, and Cuba really gained nothing from their first war of independence.
All right, we just stopped into the Mina Restaurant here next to the Plaza de Armas, and we're gonna grab some food. A little entertainment while we wait for our dinner. It's pretty nice, not too loud. Relaxing, sun setting. Very beautiful. All right, we just got our food here. What'd you get?
Jerk beef.
I got jerk beef as well, and a grilled chicken plate. Looks pretty good.
The Spaniards conquered Cuba about 20 years after Columbus discovered it in 1492, and they quickly enslaved all of its people. Now, at the time, papal law forbade slavery, but to get around this, the Spanish officials in Cuba started a thing called encomienda, which basically means I'll give you free lessons in Christianity for your labor.
All right, so we're waiting in line at the panaderia to get some pan. The other day it was like $1 for a small piece, so we'll maybe get like 10 pieces, but here's everyone just out tonight grabbing some fresh baked bread. So we ended up having to get 20 pieces of bread because we only had large bills. So we're just outside this old train station we're about to go into. Here's some old locomotives. There's a lot of horse and buggy right here if you're interested in that. There's different vendors throughout here. So Rachel just pointed out that when you're walking around in the streets, there's actually not really very many memorials or statues to Che Guevara. They're all for, who's the dude? Martí. But when you come to the touristy areas, there's no Martí, and it's all Che Guevara images and hats and things of that nature. So it's kind of funny how that works. They're just looking to sell those images to tourists, but really he doesn't have very many, he's not very idolized in the actual streets of Old Havana. So last night here in Havana, Cuba, and we decided to get pretty and come have dinner.
dinner.
Yeah, we came to what's the name? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know. Manzana, I think Hotel Manzana.
Yeah, here's a nice view of the square down here that we've frequented several times.